This is already the third object discovered beyond our solar system that is moving towards us. The signal was received from an observatory in Chile. It consisted of a series of mysterious codes. The object was named Triayatlas. This interstellar visitor, which was believed to be moving along a predictable trajectory, has just performed an impossible maneuver, defying the laws of gravity. Now all major telescopes on the planet are focused on it, and a new, frightening trajectory has been calculated. It aligns with the plane of the orbits of the planets around the Sun. The probability of such an alignment is 1 in 500. The time of arrival in the inner solar system has also been precisely calculated. The data confirms our worst fears. The object, the size of Manhattan, is no longer a scientific mind game. It is a clear threat, and the scientists who discovered its new path are in horror. An object that has broken all the rules. In the vast, silent theater of the cosmos, a new actor has taken the stage. The first to notice it was the asteroid warning system, a faint point of light against the distant stars. Its designation was technical and rather dull, Triayatlas. The tri indicated that this was merely the third interstellar object, but it was an unusual guess. As astronomers gathered more data, a troubling picture began to emerge. The first thing that distinguished Triayatlas was its colossal size. Preliminary calculations of brightness indicated that if it were a solid rocky object, its diameter must be at least 20 kilometers. This is a rock, the size of Manhattan, hurtling through the void. In comparison, the two previous interstellar objects, including the famous Oumuamua, were hundreds of times smaller, about the size of a city block. The probability that such a massive object would randomly appear in the brief time we are observing it is astronomically low. Statistically, we should see a rock of this size in our vicinity once every 10 years, or perhaps even less frequently. Therefore, the discovery of a third such object was, to put it mildly, suspicious. The main explanation was quite simple. It was a massive ancient comet, a frozen relic from another star system formed many millennia ago. NASA was quick to state that this comet poses no threat and will remain more than 250 million kilometers away. But not everything is as simple as it seems. Many people enjoy easy explanations, but the universe is rarely straightforward. Leading scientists, such as the renowned astrophysicist from Harvard, Avi Loeb, noted that there are serious gaps in the official version. First of all, Triayatlas did not have a cometary tail. When a comet approaches the Sun, its core heats up, forming a bright tail of gas and dust that can stretch for millions of kilometers. The most powerful space telescope in history, Hubble, was directed at the object, and its high-resolution images showed no tail. Instead of what he expected, he saw something even more astonishing, a dim and indistinct glow that seemed to precede an object moving ahead of him toward the exosun. This was something unprecedented, a unique anomaly that did not fit any of the previously observed profiles of comets. The object was traveling at an incredible speed of 66 kilometers per second, which was double the speed of the fastest rockets ever launched by humanity. History began to lose its coherence, and soon new data emerged. Routine observations from the Vanda Observatory revealed a barely noticeable, almost imperceptible change in its trajectory. This deviation was so minor that it was initially dismissed as an error. However, it was soon confirmed by other observatories in Australia. The new data was irrefutable. The Triayatlas was no longer following the predicted course. It was moving. Something had altered the trajectory of this Manhattan-sized object in the vastness of space. A course for collision. And whoever tells you about orbital mechanics, it is a science known for its relentless precision. Objects in space move along trajectories determined by gravity and nothing else. They do not make sharp maneuvers. They do not accelerate on their own. They follow elegant curved lines drawn by the interaction of massive bodies, such as our stars. But the 3I Atlas did not adhere to these rules. Its trajectory had already seemed strangely perfect before the new data appeared. Its path almost perfectly aligned with the plane of the ecliptic, the flat disk around which all the planets of our solar system revolve. The probability of an interstellar object appearing with such perfect alignment by chance is only 1 in 500, as if it were intentionally moving down the main street of our solar system. This trajectory was also perfectly calculated for a grand tour. Its route was designed to take it extraordinarily close to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, like a space tourist visiting all the major attractions. The likelihood that a random trajectory would allow for so many close passes by planets is 1 in 20, which is practically impossible from a statistical standpoint. It was also moving on a retrograde orbit, meaning in the direction opposite to all the planets. For a spacecraft aiming to launch small probes, this is the ideal approach. It maximizes relative speed and facilitates orbital insertion. The evidence of intelligent design was circumstantial, but gradually accumulated into a mountain of anomalies. Then new data confirmed what some scientists had cautiously feared. The slight deviation turned out not to be random. It was controlled non-gravitational acceleration, engine activation. This was not a soft, unpredictable gas ejection like that of a comet. This was a deliberate course correction. World space agencies recalculated the data again and again. Their supercomputers worked for several days, but the result remained the same. The new trajectory was infallible. 3I Atlas changed its course from a flyby of the solar system to a direct collision path. Its new destination became the Earth-Moon system. A quiet panic began to spread across the globe. The official statement from NASA, claiming that this was just a harmless comet, now appeared to be a dangerous lie. This was not just a visitor, it was an arrival. Questions about whether this object was artificial faded into the background. Now everyone was wondering why it suddenly headed toward our planet. Scientists were in disarray. The object was not just moving along a strange trajectory, it was moving to collide, 66 kilometers per second. While the world slept, receiving reassuring press releases about a distant comet, behind closed encrypted chats and secure video conferences, a secret, undeclared war was underway. The discussion shifted from astronomical observatories to institutions such as the United States Space Command and the Pentagon. New data, confirmed by military satellites, changed everything. The public saw the familiar, reassuring images of a blurred dot. But in secret briefings, analysts were looking at a completely different picture. The faint glow preceding 3I Atlas began to transform into unnatural energy signatures. These were not just cometary outgassing, but clear signs of an energy field, possibly associated with some exotic propulsion system. The theoretical Avaliba scale, ranking objects from 0 for purely natural objects to 10 for confirmed technological ones, left no room for doubt. This was a metric used in real time by intelligence agencies. Within a matter of days, the rating of 3I Atlas rose from 4 to 7 and continued to increase. 7 indicated a high probability of technological origin with signs of maneuvering. Scientists were horrified not only by the potential collision, but also by the possibility that there might be intelligence behind it. An object moving at 66 kilometers per second was a true cosmic bullet. Our planetary defense systems, designed to track slowly moving asteroids years before a collision, proved useless. We could not launch any missile or weapon capable of intercepting something moving at such speed and with such little warning. Humanity found itself like a pedestrian frozen on a highway, while a silent truck 20 kilometers wide raced at full speed. Desperate attempts were made to learn more. The James Webb Space Telescope was urgently redirected, and its planned observations of distant galaxies were cancelled. All radio telescopes around the world, from the Farisov receiver to the giant antennas in China, began coordinated efforts to listen in. They directed their massive antennas toward the approaching anomaly, scanning all frequencies in hopes of catching a signal, a whisper, or any sign of communication that could explain its dreadful intentions. But all they heard was the cold, empty, static noise of space. In this context, the silence was far more terrifying than the threat itself. It was the silence of a predator that does not need to announce its presence. This silence was deafening, and the world seemed unaware of the looming danger. Let us take a moment to step back and speak as ordinary people. Throughout our history, we have looked to the stars and wondered if we are alone in the universe. We have always believed that the answer would come in the form of a friendly radio signal, a cosmic greeting. But none of us were prepared for the answer to take the shape of an object that is 20 kilometers wide and has just turned to head toward us. For decades, many people have been obsessed with the idea that we are the pinnacle of intelligence in the entire universe. Now, this arrogance seems almost suicidal, does it not? Our entire species, with all our wars, politics, and dramas, exists on a fragile blue sphere, and we have just received a troubling signal from space. Now we have learned what it consists of. No one is telling you that during the frantic and secretive recalibration of the James Webb Space Telescope, scientists accomplished much more than simply confirming its trajectory. They conducted a spectrographic analysis, breaking down the sunlight reflecting off its surface. The results were not only astonishing, but also horrifying. It consists of a mixture of metals and ice, and its surface is a crystalline metallic alloy that has no place in the natural universe. This material is millions of times stronger than what we are capable of producing. Unlike ordinary iron or nickel alloys found in asteroids, this composition appears to be a metamaterial that actively restructures at the quantum level for heat dissipation and radiation. Analysts returned to the faint data regarding our first interstellar visitor. Signals that were once considered sensor noise now displayed a faint but identical spectrographic signature. This is not just a single object. It is known technology, the calling card of a singular, silent, and incredibly advanced civilization. This discovery only exacerbates the central question: what do they want? A civilization capable of creating entire cities from impossible materials is likely billions of years older than us. If they intended to cause us harm, they would not need this gigantic rock. They could have sent something small, biological, or even something we cannot imagine. So is this a message or perhaps a delivery? What if the goal is not to collide with Earth, but to achieve a stable orbit? To place an object the size of Manhattan in our sky, a constant silent moon that will shatter our societies, our religions, and our very understanding of our place in the universe. Then theories become even more outrageous. Some insiders whisper about a scenario of cosmic evacuation. What if this is not an invasion, but an escape? A desperate attempt to flee from a dying sun. They are not conquerors. They are refugees seeking the only viable lifeboat they can find. And we are already in it. There is a darker hypothesis suggesting that this object is a terraformer, a kind of planet killer that is also a world builder. This automated machine is designed to systematically destroy the local biology of the planet and transform it to suit the needs of its masters. In this version, we are not even the enemies. We are merely microbes, an infectious layer that must be eliminated before the real work begins. There is an even stranger idea gaining traction. Perhaps this is our final exam. Its appearance is a test for the Great Filter, a cosmic barrier that prevents civilizations from reaching a stage of galactic development. Our reaction to it, whether we unite in peace, plunge into chaos, or take up arms to fight, is being evaluated. If we pass this test, we may be accepted. If not, we will be deemed too dangerous and cut from the cosmic tree. This object is not here to harm us. Perhaps it is an observer trying to act as a catalyst for accelerating our evolution. But these are just theories. The most immediate and frightening possibility is that the object itself is merely a transport vehicle. What if its true purpose is to approach Earth and release its cargo? Some suggest that this is a fleet of smaller, faster probes. The initial trajectory, which seemed to be veering away from us, now appears to be a carefully planned deception. It passed by the outer planets, possibly gathering data, and only when it reached a clear target in the inner solar system did it reveal its true intentions. It waited until it was too close for us to take any action. All scientific debates are over. Speculations about its motives are just noise. New data has provided us with one cold, harsh, and frightening fact. It is approaching, and we are not ready. Thus begins a brutal and destructive phase for humanity. Will it send a quiet, highly advanced intelligence as a final solution? Share your theories below.